Hey, this is Archie, and today we're going to talk about how to run ads on TikTok for fashion brands. Yes, it's going to be specifically for fashion brands. So if you have a fashion brand or if you're running ads for a fashion business, then this is a video specifically designed for you. Now, it's going to be a pretty comprehensive video, probably quite a long one, because I'm gonna cover every single important point to run a profitable TikTok ad campaign, starting from your business account and finishing to your ad creatives, how to create them, how they should look like, and many more things that will be following. So take a piece of paper, pay attention, stay focused, and let's get started. Now, because I want to simplify this process, I'm gonna show you step by step how to do this. So the first step is to head over to the tiktok.com/business. Now, there are two options here. One, you either already created an account, and in that case you just need to select it, or you have to create a new business account. So you'll go to this page, you'll click on the create new button highlighted with this kind of branded color from TikTok. You'll be sent to like another page, and here you'll have to create like your TikTok page. I already have a business account, that's why they are gonna ask me just to choose it. But you'll just need to, put your email, your name, your business information, and you'll get your business account ready for running ads. It is a pretty self-explanatory process. So I'm gonna click on my, business account right here. I'll be sent to the ads manager because I already have the ad account, but I'm gonna explain real quickly about the business center because this is a pretty important aspect of like the TikTok ecosystem. So if I click right here on this small icon that looks like a bag, which says business center, I'm gonna be sent to like this page where first of all I need to select my business account because I'm working with clients all over the world. But you'll pretty much, if you're running ads for yourself, you'll have only one account, which is enough. So here you'll see a pretty similar kind of dashboard as you would see on Facebook ads if you are running ads or if you run ads on that platform. So here you can see like your members, you could add people. If you have a team or if you have other people that are running ads for your business, then you could click here on members and then invite someone by adding their email, giving them access to your TikTok ad account, your TikTok page, and all the other aspects that they will pretty much need in order to run ads for your business. Now, once I covered a little bit about the ad account, this is something that I want to talk next. So the second step, so the first step we said that we need to create the business account. The second step is to create the ad account. So as we would, have this ecosystem on Facebook where we have our business page, then under the business page, we create our ad account. It is kind of the same thing with TikTok. So we want to create our ad account. To do that, under the assets, we want to click on the advertiser accounts. So here, I already have an ad account, but in your case, if it's a completely new ad account, you'll have to create a new one. So you'll click on this ad advertiser account, like it's a button highlighted with their branded color. You will click on create new. Next, you'll add the name, the time zone, the currency, the place of registration. I'm talking about your business, the company name, the website, the industry. You'll click next and finish. It is a very easy process. The other things to mention here is TikTok accounts. When you're creating your business account, you can link your business page with your personal page. So that's something that I would recommend because afterwards it's quite easy to run ads from your TikTok page using your post, so you could grow your followers, have that social proof. Other things than that, if you're giving access to someone, make sure you give them access also to your TikTok account so that they could also run ads from your TikTok page. Otherwise, they will need to create an identity. Now, I'm gonna talk a little bit later on about the identity. It's something different from Facebook ads. It's something pretty cool. Generally speaking, you could run ads even without a TikTok page, which is really great. So now let's go to the ads manager. I'm gonna click right here on the advertiser accounts, and then I will click here at the ads manager. Now, the next step that we wanna do is pretty much going straight forward into creating our first campaign. And now once I am here in the ads manager, the next step that we have to implement is creating our first campaign. or maybe the second campaign or third campaign, depending on your history, depending on how long you've been in the TikTok ad space. So just to clarify a few things, we have 3 levels. We have campaign, we have an ad group, and we have the ad. It's very similar to kind of all the platforms out there, like having like on Facebook, it's kind of the same stuff. So it's not something new. Just when it comes to the ad group, they kind of renamed because on Facebook it is called ad set. It is kind of the same. It kind of has the same goal. So if we are talking here about fashion brands, most likely your goal is to get sales. We're not that interested in likes, in comments, because likes are not going to scale your business. Comments are not going to give you cash or give you profit to reinvest in business, to reinvest in products. What we are looking for, most likely, if you're a business owner, is profit. That is why we have to select an objective, an advertising objective that actually matches our goal, which is conversions. So what this advertising objective does is that with conversions, it targets much more qualitative group of audience who are more likely to purchase a product from you. If you are like selecting something like traffic or reach, pretty much the algorithms will optimize, this is the keyword, will optimize based on these kind of objectives. If it's traffic, they're gonna optimize for targeting people who are more likely to click on an ad and just go to your website. You're gonna get a lot of traffic, however, the conversion rate is going to be very, very little. And it doesn't matter if you are just getting started. I want you to use conversions. So if we scroll down here, the first thing that we need to do is to name our campaign. So for the campaign name, we will say something like prospecting / testing, and it's going to be ABO. This is an abbreviation of ad set budget optimization, because this is the next thing that I want to cover. We have here the campaign budget optimization. For prospecting, for the texting campaign, I like to use ad set budget optimization, meaning is that I want to set the budget at the ad set level. So for the budget is going to be checked here, no limit. If you have some kind of limit for a budget, you might put that. However, I would not recommend it, because you don't want to limit the algorithms from going out there and targeting your ideal customer, especially in the beginning where they need to go through the learning phase. Now, before you go into the ad group, one more thing to mention is the split testing, which is very similar to Facebook A/B split testing. It is a way to optimize like the way you are testing audiences. Now, I like to manually test that, because just I've seen that it is much easier for me to control this process, and I like to have a control. So now let's go to the ad group. Under the ad group, we have to select things like our budget, our placements where we want to show our ads to, our audience, and the optimization part. For the ad group name, I keep it very simple. In this case, is going to be the audience and pretty much the the gender and also like the age range. So for this case, afterwards we're gonna talk also about like what kind of interest to use, but for now it's going to be female 18+. So promotion type, we want to select website because we want to send people to a website in our case. You want to select the TikTok pixel. If you do not have a TikTok pixel, you need first of all to create it. How do you do that? You click on this small little icon which says create. Then once this page is loaded, we're gonna click on the create pixel. Let's just name our pixel. Let's put it just simple pixel name. So we'll click pixel, TikTok pixel. Next, we are gonna select the second option, which is setting up the web events via partner platforms, because this is a much easier way. And then in like most of the cases, we're gonna use Shopify. If you're using Shopify, then in the case, it is very easy. If you see the other e-commerce platforms and you're using them, it is very easy. However, if you are not seeing any of the partners that TikTok is partnering with, then in that case, you need to set that up manually. Now, that is again a very self-explanatory process. You'll have to copy that TikTok pixel code, put it in the head in the backend of your website. So for this case, if it's Shopify, we will just select this platform, we'll click next. Now here you'll have to go to your Shopify, So then on Shopify, you want to install the TikTok app, which is an app that is absolutely for free. You want to connect your TikTok business account or ad account name, which we've already created. We've already talked about that. You want to turn on these two kind of options because it's going to allow us to target better and have much more data about those people that are going to your website. You will click next, then make sure to select maximum in the Shopify under the TikTok app, because it is going to help the pixel to understand like the behaviors, what kind of actions people are doing on your website, so they could optimize better and target like a much more relevant audience for your brand. You'll click next and pretty much complete setup, and that is pretty much how you create your TikTok pixel. I don't think that you're gonna face some problems. However, if you have some kind of issues, just DM me on Instagram and I might help you with like installing your TikTok pixel. Now, if we go back to the ads manager where we've been at the ad group level, here, once your TikTok pixel is installed, you're gonna just select your pixel. You will see here, instead of no recent activity, you'll see active, and like with that green small circle. In my case, it doesn't show that because it is not installed properly. The next thing is optimizing for a specific event that you want to kind of optimize for. Now, the biggest difference from TikTok and Facebook is the optimization event. So on Facebook, you wanted to optimize for purchase, even if your account is a brand new one. However, on TikTok, you have to optimize for an upper level kind of optimization event from your funnel. Because if you are going straight forward to optimize for purchase, most likely they don't understand. They simply don't understand who is your ideal client. That's why you will see either that it is simply not spending, like you put like a $100, $200 as a daily budget, but it is not spending, where it is spending very little. Or the second option is that yes, it is spending, however, it is performing very, very bad. But like literally, they don't know who is your ideal client. So instead, on TikTok, you want to optimize for something like add to cart. If your like page or your like TikTok account is a brand new one. Now the question is, when do you want to transition to a purchase? My recommendation would be getting at least, and this is a bare minimum, like 500 add to cart within the TikTok pixel from your campaigns. And afterwards, the pixel will be a little bit seasoned and they will understand better who is, your right audience. So then you could optimize for purchase. Now on TikTok, they say complete payment, but it is kind of the same thing. So next up is placements. I would highly recommend unchecking the newsfeed app series and Pengle and just optimize for TikTok, because all the other just placements, they don't work and they are not meant for getting sales. Only TikTok is a platform where you are going to get sales. So next step is creative type. Here we have kind of a dynamic creative from Facebook ads, which allows us to give TikTok multiple assets such as multiple images, multiple videos, most likely for TikTok, multiple text, primer text, and then we're going to make these combinations of these assets so they could create these customization ads for every single person based on their behaviors. Now from my side, I could tell you that I just prefer like manual testing, where I put an ad, then I have a second ad, the third ad, because I want to see exactly how they perform. With dynamic creative, yes, you could see how they perform, but I have not seen that accuracy. So that's why I like to do everything manually in this case. And don't take me wrong, I let the algorithms do its thing. However, there are a couple things that I just want to use the manual options. So next step, which is something very important for TikTok, is our targeting. So we have, first of all, the demographics. This is the location that it is set by default. I'm based in Romania, that is why it says Romania. But you need first of all to understand where is your ideal client, where do you want to show your ads to, on what kind of countries. Then once you have that clear vision, clear image in your mind, just select that country. Do not complicate, do not overcomplicate this process, because I've seen so many brands, they are overcomplicating this particular targeting option when it comes to the demographics. Now let's say that you as a fashion brand, you can target worldwide and you don't know exactly where to show your ads to. Then in this case, what I would recommend is, first of all, looking at your data and seeing where most of your sales are coming from. When you see a specific country that it is getting more sales, then I would recommend just optimizing and focusing only on one single country. I just don't like that much that approach where you are targeting multiple countries, especially if your budget is very little. And when I say little, I am talking about like, a couple thousands of dollars per month, or even, let's say, even 5 figures. If you're spending 6 figures a month, in that case, yes, you can go ahead and target multiple countries because you need much more scalability room, and the more countries will help you with that. So for this particular, example, I'm just gonna put something like United Kingdom. Now for the languages, I like to keep it as it default, which says all. So I do not want to narrow down here anything. However, if you want to target just a specific language, you could do that, but keep in mind to not make it too narrow. And I'm gonna just talk a little bit later on about the audience size. What kind of audience size is ideal for getting a good performance? As for the gender, this is something that I recommend for all the brands, including now if we're talking about fashion brands, is selecting the gender where you are seeing most of your commerce falling into like that specific category. If most of your customers are male, just select male. 90%, 80% of your customers are male, select male, and vice versa. However, if your ratio is kinda even, let's say 40-60, 50-50, and I would say even 30-70, I will just select all. For this specific purpose, I'm gonna just leave it all. As for the age, in most cases, I recommend going 18 plus. Now, why is that? Because what I've seen is that people between 13 to 17, they don't have that much like that financial, capabilities to like buy your products. So in that case, you're gonna get lots of clicks, but our main goal, if you remember, I said in the beginning of this video, is to get profit. Because with profit, you could reinvest in your business, you can reinvest in your team, you could grow and scale your brand. So we're not that interested in clicks. Now, of course, you need brand awareness, don't take me wrong, but you could still get that brand awareness while getting a high return on investment, while increasing your profit and scaling your brand. So, that's something that just to keep in mind. Now, sometimes I could deviate from this standard. If I know and my client says that, hey, like our client, falls into this age range, 13 to 17, and they are like a lot of them. In that case, I will still target that. However, I would not just select, between 13 to 17 or between 18 to 24. I want to have a big range. Like I'm talking about, 18 plus, 13 plus, because even if the algorithms, are not that smart, let's say in this way, from the Facebook algorithms, they can still understand who is your ideal client pretty quickly. And we do not want to narrow this part, because by narrowing, you are making the delivery system struggle a little bit in terms of finding that ideal client and then, having that scalability. Because think about it, even if you're getting profitable results from your TikTok ads with a specific just range, what happens is that when you start scaling, it will slow down over time because you don't have much room for scaling. Why not you have this advantage of having that scalability capabilities just in the first place from the point when we create our first campaign? Next thing is something new that they created is the household income. You could target things like top 10%, 10 to 20%, 25 to 50, and 5% of zip codes. And this is only designed for the US. If you want to target, high net worth individuals, yes, you can select these things. However, if you are, selling something affordable, something with an average order value less than $100, you don't need that much to select this option. So that's something that you can ignore, because this is more like for a specific business, which is not for a fashion brand, which we are talking here about. Now, the next thing is this section where we can include the custom audiences. Things like, targeting people who've already engaged with your content, people who've been on your website. But for this purpose, for this particular video, we are not going to cover this aspect. Maybe in the next future videos, I could also tackle this part. Let me know in the comments below if you want to learn more about custom audiences. For this particular video, we're going to talk about prospecting ads, like ads that are designed for targeting cold and new people who've never heard about your brand. So for now, we have these 4 options for targeting our customer. We have interest, we have video interactions, we have creator interactions, and we have hashtag interactions. So we could target things like based on hashtags, based on the behavior such as following or viewing profile within a specific niche. Let's say in our case, fashion, it could be something like, let me see where it was, like fashion and beauty. By selecting this option, it's going to target people who've engaged with a specific content creator. Maybe they viewed their profile or they follow that specific content creator within this kind of niche, which is pretty cool. You know, it's something that you could test in the future. However, I'm gonna say in just a second, particular audience that you can start with. This targeting based on these kind of behaviors is something that I would recommend, you know, using some way in the future, because it doesn't work all the time, and I've seen it might work usually with ad accounts that they have a seasoned pixel. So for now, let's kind of ignore this. And the next thing that we have here is based on the interactions with videos, such as they've watched a video till the end, they liked, commented, and shared a video within, you know, in our case, a fashion niche. You simply select something here like beauty and style. Also make sure to select the time period, and I would recommend going to 7 days because this is a much more relevant audience. Now, something that I want to emphasize here is that if you are selecting this audience, then this is pretty much an audience that it is already included within the interests, and that's the next audience, that's the next targeting that I would actually recommend sticking to. This is an audience that I've seen it's working the best, especially if you're just starting out. So for the interests, one thing that I want to emphasize here is for fashion brands, select apparel and accessories, and make sure that if you're selecting here on the drop down, you could here unselect some of our options such as, you know, watches, ordinary jewelry. However, I would not recommend that because you want to have a broad audience, and this is where I want to tackle this kind of audience size. You want to make sure that it is broad. We're talking here about with millions, tens of millions in the, like if you're targeting the US, in that case, I would say hundreds of millions of people. Yes, I know it sounds like a huge audience. However, if you're trying to be too narrow, you are working against the algorithms. You're kind of suffocating the delivery system because they need a lot of room to learn about who is your ideal client. And usually with TikTok, like the first week, the performance might be very unstable because they are learning like who is our ideal client, right? And then after 1 week with enough audience, with enough people, with a very broad audience, then you can see how your sales are skyrocketing. So here, another thing that they kind of introduced recently is general interest and purchase intention. So with general interest, they kind of target all people. With purchase intention, they target people whose like recent behavior suggests like they may buy something related to like your content. In our case, your fashion products, your apparel. In theory, it sounds very good. But if you are selecting purchase intention, what you will see with the audience size, it is going to be very narrow. And that is kind of going against to the point that I've talked about with the audience size. You want to make it very broad. So that is why make sure to use general interest. Now, in the future, once your TikTok pixel is seasoned, and when I say seasoned, I mean you have to get at least like 500 purchases with your TikTok pixel, specifically with your TikTok pixel from your campaigns, then you might go and optimize and use the purchase intention. But before that, before you are even getting those 500 purchases from your TikTok campaign, do not even think about this option because most likely it's not going to perform and you're going to burn a lot of money. So now next thing is the targeting option. Make sure to toggle this on because it's going to help you out a lot, and select here the interest and behaviors. So what this does, it goes like beyond the interest that you've selected. Now this is the case where I let the AI and the machine learning do its thing. So, you know, if I said about the dynamic creatives or about the A/B split testing, that I want to have that, to use that manual option, in this case, I want to give the algorithms some room of doing its thing. So for the budget and schedule, this is a very broad topic, and I think it's going to be like, I need to record a dedicated video just for the budget, because here we have to talk a lot about the numbers, about like what kind of costs you have to acquire a specific, like an actual card or a purchase. It is very, very specific to your business. So I might consider this particular topic to have in my future videos. If you are really interested, then make sure to comment below, because I need to see your engagement. I need to see that you are looking for this type of content. If not, then I'm not gonna record that video. So for now, just let's say that it's going to be $100. If you want to schedule, you could do that. For now, it's going to be just like this. So do not try to be specific, like with time, thinking that you're gonna save some money. Don't work against the algorithms. Just use the all day. For the bidding and optimization, which is the last part from the ad group, make sure to use conversion and to use the lowest cost instead of a cost cap. This is going to give you kind of a lowest cost. We're gonna optimize for the lowest cost to maximize your number of results. A result is pretty much what you are optimizing for. In our case is add to cart. So here we've covered everything from the ad group. Now let's go to the ad level. Alright, now once we are on the ad level, the first thing is to name our ad, as we did with our ad group and with our campaign. For this, I name in this kind of order. So I put like the ad hook name and then the ad hook. As for the ad name, I just use the ad hook, right, and the video type. So to give you an example, let's say for the ad hook is what I ordered versus what I got. I will put that, and then for the video type is going to be usually like the video itself, how you are naming that video, like in your laptop. So eventually, if you want to revisit that video, you could just go ahead and understand and look in your desktop, in your laptop, and find it very easily. Now, this is the thing that I mentioned kind of in the beginning of this video about the identity. So you could either use a TikTok account by calling like this Spark Ads, or set up like a custom identity. You just put like the display name, which is your business name. Let's just write here an example. You could also add here your logo, and that's what people will see like on their feed. Now, before I go into the ad format, I want to also show you like the Spark Ads. You want to toggle this on, and then here is going to be kind of selected by default your TikTok page. In my case, this is my TikTok page, that's why, and because I've already set it up, I have this like selected by default. In your case, it's going to be your TikTok page if you have it. If you don't, then in the case, either you could like use a content creator page by asking for access by clicking here on the authorized post, and then you have to ask for that access, and then afterwards you could use their post as an ad. And what people will see is the creator name, and this kind of builds our like trust and credibility, because people want to see like posts from our creators, from our content creators. That's why they are on TikTok. They don't really like to see these ads. And that kind of leads me to the next thing, which is the creative. Now, the creative is very crucial. So just to kind of clarify here, it's something that you want to work a lot on. There are two formats that TikTok is allowing us to use, which is single video and collection ads. Collection ads, usually they don't perform because they look like an ad. On TikTok, everything that you do, every single detail, every single action when it comes to your ads, make sure that they look organic. They are looking like some kind of brands. They look like TikToks. Post who one of their friends, like I'm talking about with the friends of a customer, posted on their feed. That's your main goal. That's why in most cases, select single video, click on the TikTok post, like upload it from laptop, and once it is set up here, you need to also add a text. For the text, usually it's just simply a call to action, because here you don't have much room of putting like a long copy. This is a place where people don't read that much. That's why you want to keep it very short and sweet. Now, the last thing just to touch here is the destination page. So where you want to send people to. Here is the URL, which is going to be your website page. And most likely, I would recommend sending people to the product page. If you're showing just one product, if you're showing a collection, then in that case, you could send people to like the collection page, but it's going to be fine. As for the call to action, you could select standard and shop now. Then if you want, you could, check this box, and what this does is that you agree that your ad can be seen in the TikTok Creative Center. Like TikTok Creative Center pretty much is a place where people could see other businesses' ads, and they could see how they perform in terms of video retention, the number of likes, comments, and stuff like that. It's very similar to Facebook ads library. However, here you have the option to either show your ads on that this Creative Center or not. So afterwards, that's kind of it, and then you can click on submit. It takes a couple hours for TikTok to review your ad and publish it. It doesn't actually take that long, so you could be prepared that your ad is going to be live within just a couple hours. Now, I also want to dedicate this part of a video just on the ad creatives, because this is a very crucial thing that it has a very huge impact onto the results. So, you could have the best structure, you could follow exactly the structure of this campaign that I talked about. But if your creative is crappy, if your creative doesn't fit within the TikTok ad space, then in that case, nothing is going to work, and the return on spend is going to be very little. You're gonna blame the platform, you're gonna think that something is wrong. So when it comes to the creatives, I'm gonna give you just a few tips, which first of all, make it organic. Make it looks like it's a post from a friend. Something that, it is recorded usually with a camera, with an iPhone, with a simple phone that looks like a raw content. Usually here, the professional videos does not work that well. Sometimes they do for luxury brands, but usually the raw content is beating the professional one. So this is a pretty good thing, because for most small business owners, this is something that they could do. It doesn't require, a very huge investment. So now you don't have that much excuses. Anyone can grow on TikTok, anyone can run ads on this platform. The next essential tip that I want to give you is make sure that every single piece of content, every single video, I'm talking about every single video, it has to be a vertical format. Do not even attempt using 4x5 or square format, because that's the instant signal for that potential customer to understand that, oh, okay, this is an ad. If they can smell it in a matter of 1 second that this is an ad, they will skip it right away. Because on TikTok, the attention span is the smallest one comparing with the other platforms. Even on Instagram Reels, it is a little bit longer, based on all the researches that have been done so far. You want also to use fast cuts, emphasizing the deals. So fast cuts help the viewer to stay engaged and watch the entire video. And with the deals on the other side, you want to, usually on TikTok, people are very price sensitive. So you want to give them, some kind of offers here. Yes, we're talking about percentages off, because they really sometimes, I think that they are looking, just for a good price, and they're not really interested for, very qualitative products. Now, just to clarify, I'm not saying that luxury fashion brands cannot advertise on TikTok. They can, and there is a specific audience that they are looking for these products. However, I am saying that the vast majority of people who are right now on TikTok, they're just looking for much more affordable fashion products. Now, one more thing to mention about the TikTok ad creatives is that on TikTok, there are specific elements, organic elements that you could utilize to transform your ad and look like an organic post. Here we're talking about the background sounds. We are talking here about the text overlays. Be sure that you're using the text overlays that it is given from TikTok. Usually what you want to do is, after recording that video, is editing within the TikTok using those, text overlays, then copy or download that video and then post it as an ad. That's the best suggestion that I can give you. Also, with the background sounds, make sure you use something that, it is from TikTok. Now, with TikTok ads, make sure that it is copyright free. Sometimes, yes, I see that people are using this non-copyright music for TikTok ads. However, there are some risks here. And I want to just make sure that, we are using legally every single background sound for our TikTok ads. Other than that, something that is also crucial is the ad hook. The first 3 seconds of our video. So as we know, the attention span is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and on TikTok you have only 1 second to capture someone's attention, which means the hook is the thing that you want to spend the vast majority of your time when you are creating an ad. This is the part where you want to brainstorm the most. Essentially, the bottom line here is creating more TikToks and not that many ad creatives. This is actually the main goal that you want to keep always and always in mind when you are creating new ad visuals for your TikTok. Now, the next action, if you are a fashion brand owner and you're looking for someone who can run your TikTok ads for your fashion brand, make sure to click on the link below and schedule a 30-minute call with me, where we are going to talk a little bit about your business, see if we are the right fit. The minimum ad requirement spend is $3,000 per month. If you meet the criteria, then we might be able to help you out with your goals. If that is not the case, then keep watching my videos, because here we are talking about how to run ads on Facebook and TikTok for e-commerce brands. So then eventually, by implementing everything that I teach here when it comes to, the technical part, the marketing fundamentals, by implementing all these things, you could get at one point when you are making more money, you are increasing your revenue, so then eventually you could want to start working with us. So that was it, and if you're still watching this video, then thank you very much for being here, because it was a pretty long one. Until next time, I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.